Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa. I'm really excited to introduce our next guest. She has been named one of Forbes 30 under 30 social entrepreneurs. Lulu Mackenzie is in the house. Good morning, Lulu.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So tell us, how are you combining this social entrepreneur world of tech, digital, education, and entertainment?
Yeah, so we are building and launching an entertainment franchise around a new superhero. She's called Super Sema, and she's an African girl who is born with an innate sense of justice. And her superpowers are science, technology, engineering, and math. And she is highly imaginative and determined and resourceful. And around Super Sema and all the other characters, we are developing a universe of learning for children in Africa and around the world. So we started with a series of learning apps to teach children literacy and numeracy, that's reading, writing, and math. And we're now expanding to a TV series that inspires girls and children all over the world to STEM. And then all the way to creating toys and developing the whole franchise around these new superheroes.
Wow, that's fantastic.
How's your journey? How was your journey into doing this?
So I guess it started when I was a really little girl. I traveled to Africa for the first time with my parents at around 8. They wanted me and my brothers and sisters to see how different the world was from where I was growing up in Rome. And so, you know, I was in rural villages and urban slums from a very young age in Africa and saw how incredible the continent was. The kids were just like me, and I was, you know, always attracted to going back and doing something meaningful to help. And that was the beginning of a long journey. I then grew up fundraising for different projects that I cared for in Africa, and then moved to San Francisco in my early 20s to see how I could bring in the tech angle to have a much scalable and bigger impact in what I was doing. And that, I think, was quite life-changing, because I understood how, thanks to technology and the exponential rise of smartphones and TV, you could suddenly have a much wider impact. Africa is now 1.2 billion people and doubling over the next 30 years, and we can reach all of them.
Let's take a look at the impact that you're having.
All year through, every day, me and you, that's when we can play. We can learn something new. It's your turn, come let me show you. 'Cause my name is Sema and it's time to play. We'll have an adventure and we'll learn something on the way. 'Cause my name is Sema and I trust in you. It's time to go have some fun, and I know that you can do it too.
Let's go! Swipe, download, and disrupt.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Really, really great.
Such great work.
It's fun.
Oh my
Were you born
gosh.
with an entrepreneurial spirit?
I think I was.
Really?
Yes, I was creating and selling little lavender bags at the age of 8 on a local beach in Italy, and then literally went all the way. During my teenage years, I founded a non-for-profit organization, and I guess I was always very entrepreneurial.
So what would you say your superpower is?
My superpower is I'm mission-driven. I think more than passion, because I think when you're an entrepreneur, it is so challenging at times. Sometimes not even passion is enough. I'm very passionate, but I think even more than that is I'm mission-driven. I found a problem that I fell in love with, and I want to dedicate my life to solving it. And there's no going back when you feel that it's not a weight on your shoulders, but it's
Responsibility.
It's a responsibility and an urge to do something that leaves the world better.
It's so interesting. I love what you're doing. I'm so touched by this. I did some philanthropy down in Africa, and it's fascinating, some of the myths that they, believe, and I mean, it's the witchcraft, and there's just, I don't even know all the different things like having sex with a virgin will end AIDS, like bizarre things that are down there. And so I just want to say thank you so much for educating and evolving the culture. So it's so amazing, that continent.
That's exactly, that's what we saw as well, that the narrative around Africa is much more inspiring and incredible than what it's shown as. I have met some of the most entrepreneurial and aspirational people. It's such a technology-driven continent, and that's the Africa we are showing through our superheroes, because all kids are smart and brave, and they deserve the opportunities to grow up and become whoever they want to be.
Thank you so much for the work you're doing. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow and get involved.
Yeah, so on the App Store and Google Play Store, you can find our apps, Sema Run, Sema Trace, and Sema Goal. And then subscribe to our YouTube channel for video content, Super Sema, and on Instagram, Super Sema Official.
Thank you so much.
so much.
Stay tuned. We'll be back
Thank
tomorrow on
you.
Good Morning La La Land.